Welcome to the Middle East in Less Than 5 Minutes podcast. My name is Igal and I'm your host. Today's topic is indigenous people. In today's world, many fall for the false claim of the Palestinians to be the indigenous people of the land where nowadays Israel state is located. Indeed, on every pro-Palestinian protest, we hear Free Palestine and the occupation and so on. This claim, when checked, is incorrect. The Palestinians do indeed have the legitimate rights of long-standing presence in Israel, but this does not trump the indigenous status of Jewish people, 90% of whom can directly trace their genetics to the Levant. The cultural genesis, spirituality, language, and ancestral ties of Palestinian Arabs, however, trace back to the Hejaz, a region in present-day Saudi Arabia. In the Quran, the Hejaz is where Muhammad was born and where he established a community of followers. To say that Palestinian Arabs were the first inhabitants of the land of Israel is problematic for actual indigenous people like the Jewish people, the Amazigh, the Copts, the Assyrians, the Samaritans, and others who were forcefully conquered, subsumed, and converted. It would literally be akin to white Europeans in North America making that same claim. Conquering peoples can still become indigenous through cultural genesis and coalescence. They cannot, however, become indigenous simply through conquering indigenous people. The primary argument promoting the false narrative that Jews are not indigenous to the land of Israel is that they are actually the descendants of European colonizers. This can be easily debunked. Recent studies support the notion that some 80% of Jewish males and 50% of Jewish females can trace their ancestry to the Middle East. Early population genetic studies also confirm that most Jewish diaspora groups originated in the Middle East. This argument can be strengthened by the fact that only about 23% of the Jewish population in Israel is coming from Europe. The rest are those who lived in the region through generations and never left, and the descendants of the Jewish refugees from the Arab countries. In addition, as I already said in previous episodes, the Jews cannot be colonizers in Israel because they were not sent by any country to conquer the land on behalf of that country. Thank you for listening. Follow the podcast to be the first to hear new episodes. Also, follow the podcast Instagram and Facebook page as I present more information there and leave your comments on what do you think about this episode and what would you like to hear about.